aware of this marijuana solution.
The Marijuana Solution would like to remind you to check out our sponsors after the podcast. We're going to have links to them in the description. Our sponsors are TrueLeaf, Sunshine Cannabis, The Smart Collective, Minorities for Medical Marijuana, and We Are Rare. Don't forget to check out those links in the description, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. Leave us a review.
We're Florida's first licensed medical cannabis dispensary with locations all throughout Florida, and we deliver all throughout Florida next day. We have the largest selection of products within the allowable delivery methods. TrueLeaf products are hand-grown in an environment that keeps it as natural as possible at every turn. We don't use pesticides, and we lab test our products, and those lab tests are published on our website. So you can be confident at the medication that you're putting into your body. Our favorite products are our vaporization lines, our True Pod, our True Clear is a patient favorite, and we also just recently launched True Flower for patients that want the full entourage effect. At TrueLeaf, we're really proud to offer the largest variety to patients, and we're really excited about the future and all of our patients that are helping us expand and grow and make our products even better. Visit our website at www.trueleaf.com to find out where all of our dispensaries are located, shop online, learn more about our products, or find a doctor if you haven't gotten started in the medical cannabis process.
Hello everyone, you're listening to The Marijuana Solution. I'm your host, Robert Roundtree, and this episode we are speaking with Tyler King. Tyler is the founder of Swamp City Gallery and Lounge in Gainesville. He's one of the most influential voices in the cannabis community. If you were at the Gainesville Green Carpets that they had, or the Indo Sesh, or the after party at Swamp City, you already know about him. If not, we're about to tell you about him and what's going on in Gainesville because it's groundbreaking. How you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing all right, Robert. How are you?
Pretty good, my friend. Pretty good. I'm talking to you on a podcast about cannabis in the state of Florida, so I think things are going pretty well for us.
Yeah, that's we've came a long way, brother.
A very long way. So, on my previous episode, I was speaking with Chef Tony Phillips, and we touched a little bit on kind of what Swamp City is doing since he's been a big help there for you. And we're going to get into that. But first, I wanted you to kind of bring all my listeners on the Marijuana Solution up to speed with who Tyler King is and why it's so important for you to be doing what you're doing and offer this type of resource to the community.
Okay, absolutely. I guess I could start by giving you a little bit of background about me and myself and how I got in the industry. It all started, I'd say I could trace it all the way back to 7th grade science fair project. I'm born and raised in Gainesville, lived here my whole life. I grew up on Newton's Lake, and my mom and grandparents were very well-known advocates of the Gainesville green scene and the strain that is notorious around our park. Ever since I was in 7th grade at Fort Clark Middle School, my science fair project was the medicinal benefits of medical marijuana. And as we all know back then, especially down here in the Bible Belt, that was not something that was accepted. So after my science teacher was very supportive of it because he was an actual teacher and he knew the science behind it. However, everybody else, all my other teachers, including the dean, was not so supportive of the project and called a parent-teacher meeting and basically told my mother and everybody that I was going to amount to nothing because I was too concerned about marijuana. Needless to say, I got a B+ on the project, did great, and that's where my curiosity was heightened, and that's where I started down the path I'm on today. I have been an advocate user of marijuana. I got in a back injury when I was working construction back in, I would say, 2005, shortly after I graduated from high school. After I got a back injury and herniated multiple discs in my lower back, I found relief in illicit medical marijuana because obviously it was not actually medical or legal at the time. I went through, found relief, helped my own parents find relief, and then in 2011, I was offered a chance to go out to California and start a dispensary and delivery service and legally pursue my passion. I dropped everything, and went out there, left my family, my friends, my fiance at the time, my daughter, and I went out there and pursued my passion. We started Alchemy of Cannabis, which is a delivery service and dispensary out of Northern California that is still up and running today. I pursued that, and in that time, while I was out there for 2.5 years doing this, not only did I further my education, get into the extraction side of things, but I personally witnessed the miracle that cannabis truly is. I would travel to patients' homes that had epilepsy, that were in wheelchairs, that were just terminally ill. I would travel to them and come inside and pull out the products and show them the products, and they would choose one, and then I would assist them with getting medicated, and within 5 to 10 minutes, these people would be completely different people. They would be completely normal, like you or I. No tremors, no seizures. It literally solidified my journey and what I have been doing my whole life since I was in 7th grade, when it all started. And needless to say, after that, I vowed to myself that this is what I was going to be for the rest of my life, and this is who I was going to be. I came back in 2014 home, and when I got here, I was pushing and rallying for the medical vote in 2014, which I assumed we were going to get without issue. But unfortunately, with the supermajority clause that was in effect, we did not get the 60% needed. So for the past 2.5 years, until we got to 2016, I was figuring out how I was going to not only educate people in our home state, but bring people together from every walk of life, every demographic, and use cannabis and art, for that matter, as a catalyst to do so. That's where Swamp City was born. Originally, it was going to be Swamp City Collective, because I wanted to be similar to a dispensary. But, being that the monopoly or oligopoly that is happening right now in Florida, and the ridiculous amount of funds that you have to get and become an MNTC, I decided that wasn't feasible at the time, but I was still going to move forward with my dream. And that's when Swamp City Gallery Lounge was born. I had always been a avid collector of glass art since I'd been in the industry and worked with a lot of the artists very closely out in California. So when I decided to do the gallery, I decided that art is something that everybody can appreciate. Even if you don't like or agree with cannabis, you can appreciate art, whether it be glass or canvas. So I decided that is the perfect catalyst, or the perfect way to bring these people together from different demographics and educate them on cannabis and possibly change their mind. And if I don't change their mind and make them a user or an advocate, just educate them and let them see that it's not bad. It's not reefer madness. It's not there's literally nothing harmful about this plant and everything good about it. So what I through this process, I have came in contact with a lot of awesome individuals in the industry, yourself included, Tony Phillips, Jeff Tony, Jose Rosado from GreenWise.tv, that gave me the opportunity to do In the Know, which is the show I do on GreenWise.tv, where we educate people and we interview people in the industry and let people know about the services that are in the industry and what is available to them in the state of Florida, because a lot of people don't even know. There's still people in the state of Florida that do not know marijuana or cannabis is medically legal, which is a shame. So when I decided to do the gallery, I decided that for the time being we're gonna we're going to do CBD because obviously that's the only thing we're allowed to do. So we're going to do the CBD lounge. We're going to do the art gallery, and we're also going to do craft beer because if you talk to a brewer, just like if you talk to an artist, their beer is their art. With craft breweries, it is another form of art. We don't carry any Bud Light or Budweiser or anything like that. We carry local craft brews from within our community, and we're providing a safe haven where people can come together and network on a business level, on a personal level, or on an emotional level with other people that have found relief in cannabis. And I talk to people daily that come through. My crowd that comes through the gallery before 6 p.m., most of them are 65 and plus. And they say, oh, I don't have to have my card. I don't have to have my medical card to use CBD. And I educate probably 10 to 15 people daily on what CBD is. That people don't even know what it is. They don't know that it comes from the cannabis plant. So I've taken another vow, I guess you could say, is I'm going to educate everybody and let them know that this is a miracle plant. Not only can this save our bodies and minds, but it can save our environment as well with the textile products. So, that's what Swamp City Gallery Lounge is all about. We are providing an environment for people to come and not be discriminated against because they're curious about cannabis or because they use cannabis or because they've lived their whole life around cannabis. Because I see people every day that are advocates that have been doing this their whole life, and then I see people who have never touched a joint in their entire life. And that, to me, is a success at what I'm doing. That means I am doing it right. I am able to bring in people from all walks of life, bring them together, and educate them and better their life, better their lives of people around them, help them with natural medication, and hopefully reduce the pill crisis that we've got in Florida right now that we've had for some time. And I put a great team together in my mind. We've got Chef Tony Phillips. He's my GM. He's there every night when we're open. Jose Rosado's behind business development. We're actually traveling down to St. Pete right now to see about opening another location. So, beautiful things are happening, and I'm a firm believer that's because I've positioned myself around awesome people that are like-minded individuals, and the sky's the limit. And I see that, Florida is moving forward, and we're going in the right direction. But unfortunately, there is going to be some speed bumps along the way, and we're dealing with one right now with the whole flower and how, Florida and the Department of Health doesn't believe that we need whole flower, that we need smokable cannabis, even though 6.5 million people voted for it. So, that's where we are right now with that. But come down. I ask anybody out there to come down to Swamp City. Come inside, enjoy the environment, and check out some awesome canvas and glass art, and get educated by myself, Tony, Jose. We've got a great crew that's there, and everybody knows exactly what their position is and what they're good at. We double down on strength, so everybody is in a position to where they have no other option but to succeed. And I believe that we have started something great, and I think we're pushing in the right direction as far as Florida, the cannabis industry, and for the patients as a whole.
I agree with you 100%. You've put together a really solid team, and I remember when you first asked me about doing it, I was like, I don't think that's going to be able to happen in Gainesville. And here we are about 10 months later, and you've done it. I'm impressed with what you've been able to accomplish and how you've done it, working with the local elected officials to make sure everything is done above board, bringing them in. Listen, folks, you need to go to Swamp City. This place is off the chain, and I want to get Tyler to tell you a little bit more about it, so I'm going to kind of pick his brain since I've been there. Can you kind of explain the themed setup and the different rooms? It's really neat.
Absolutely. So when you come in the first room, we've got our main big room, and that's our glass and canvas art gallery. We have our CBD vapor bar or dab bar, whichever you prefer to call it. We have that in the front main room as well. But there is 3 different rooms in the building that has 3 different vibes and purposes. So when you come in the first room to the right, the house is 118 years old. Let me start off by saying that. So we had to do an extensive 5-month renovation to get it to where it is right now. But when one of the things that was preserved in this house, while it was a hospital, a gentleman by the name of Oliver, who is a very well-known artist, he stayed in one of the rooms, and he painted the ceilings, he painted the walls, he painted the door, he painted all the canvas that is on the wall. And so what we did with that is we preserved it, and we kept it the exact way it was, and we added a couple little things here to make it, make the vibe a little bit better. And then when we did that, we put in some relaxation chairs and furniture, and this is the quiet room. When you go in there, you're not going to hear any music or like you would in the bar area or in the game room. So this is the quiet relaxation room where you can come in and you can be within your own thoughts, maybe go take a CBD vapor hit, and then go in this room and relax and enjoy the art that's on the walls and on the ceiling. The next room that you'll go through is adjoined to that room is the Roundtable Room, or we like to call it the Zen Room. But this room has 3 tables in it with chairs. It also has a wireless printer. It has monitors and stuff like that at your disposal. And we've created this room as more as a social and business networking room. And this is also the room that is the home of the cannabis incubator that Jose runs on the days that we are closed, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you come in on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, contact myself or Jose Rosado, you can come in there, and if you want to get in the industry in Florida, if you don't know who to talk to, you don't know what door you got to kick open, and you want to get in the cannabis industry, you come and sit down with us, and we'll not only help you get started, but we'll point you in the right direction. We'll use our resources at your disposal, and we'll get you in that door. And this is the room that happens in. So it has multiple tables with chairs facing each other. So this is an interaction, a networking room, if you will. And then when you come out of that room, you go into the craft beer and kombucha room, or the bar area. That is, it's been made with the 118-year-old wood that we actually salvaged and repurposed and tried to keep the house the exact same way that it was. All we did was add a real nice stained birch countertop with the logos and everything burned into it. And then what we did from there is you'll walk through into the last room, and there is what we call the game room, or the cave. And this room has sports memorabilia on the walls. It has big vaulted ceilings. It has motivational quotes on one wall. It has flat screen TVs on one wall, continuously playing sports or cannabis-themed movies and shows. And this is the room where, if you want to just come and have a beer, chill out, watch some sports, kick back, watch the Gators or other local team, you can do that in the game room. And then there's also a door going out of the game room to the back that goes into the huge, beautiful deck outside that leads down into our red brick courtyard that wraps around the whole back of the building with a koi pond, waterfall, mulberry trees, and it's something that could not be built. It is truly a one-of-a-kind place, and everybody that has been there, you don't want to leave. Once you get there, you don't want to leave. It's crazy because I work there all the time, and I'm there more than I'm home, but I find myself, even when I get off the clock, I'm hanging around. The same thing with Chef Tony. When we're there, even when we're not working, we're like, oh, we got to go. We got things to do, because the place is just so alluring, and it just the vibe and the environment makes you want to be there. It makes you want to be peaceful and calm and just open up. And that, I think, is what made it the perfect place for Swamp City, is because we're already wanting people to open up and talk about, their lives and talk about why they may need cannabis or why they are in the dark about cannabis. And this place literally brings that out of them. It is a welcoming environment that has, has every vibe there is that, that could be received as, joyful, zenful, grateful. We actually have a gratuity bell outside, a big gong that you can ring. When the previous owner built the building, it was made to be like a monastery. So when you're feeling grateful, you can go outside and ring the gratuity bell. I mean, it's just one of these places that, we couldn't build it if we tried. We did renovate it and put some life back into it, but the groundwork had already been laid, and it was truly meant to be.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's going to be one of the places to be in Gainesville, especially in that downtown area. It's nice to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you. I've been waiting for something like this for 37 years in Gainesville. I mean, let's be real. This is the town where the ATF used to raid smoke shops.
Mm-hmm.
People within that community have been scared for a while, and it's nice to see the city and county commissioners embracing this type of change. We've got 2 of these states' medical marijuana treatment centers. Grows are located in Alachua County now. We've got Swamp City Gallery Lounge. It's leaders like you and the other people in Gainesville that are pushing this forward. And sounds like you're ready to spread the model around the state, which is awesome.
Absolutely, man. I feel like, if you got something that's such a good thing, and I'll be honest with you, with anything in life, you doubt yourself, obviously. So there's always times where, is this going to work out? And, when you're sitting underneath a 118-year-old house and a pipe busts on top of you while you got an eye infection and you're suffering from the flu because you've been working in an 118-year-old house for 5 months, there's some doubt. I didn't know if it was going to be what it has become. And all I can say is to all the people out there who have a dream, who have a desire, do not give up on that dream. Do not give up on their desire. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you get kicked down. It doesn't matter if you get punched in the mouth. It doesn't matter if you almost lose an eyeball because you got some stuff underneath an old house in your eye and you're dying from the flu and you feel like the world's going to end. It does not matter. Keep going and push forward. And if you build it, they will come. And it's, every entrepreneur out there, whether you want to get into the cannabis industry or not, I'm speaking to you, every single entrepreneur there is. Do not give up on your dream. If you feel with passion that it can be a success, guess what? There's a million people out there that feel the same way, and you just don't know it yet.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. And I guess the one thing I would like to add is if you have a dream, definitely make sure to go down to Swamp City and see Jose.
There you go. There you go.
Man, that really bums me because I stopped by to check out the store while it was open, and I stopped by a day or two too early. And I ended up speaking with Ryan Hurley of the Smart Collective, who was on his way to Swamp City, and I was like, oh man, it's closed, I'm taking off. And Jose was probably sitting inside. So
yeah,
that's so funny to me. I'm going to come visit you next time, Jose. So what other plans do you have for Swamp City?
Yeah, we're actually working on our monthly calendar right now. So far, we've got one hip-hop night, we've got one reggae night, and we've got one acoustic night, and then 2 movie night. And then we've also got the movie night. We've got playing classic swamp-themed movies. And then we also have the food truck night. So every Friday, we'll have either cilantro tacos or soul spice tacos out there, and we'll be doing Taco Friday because we ain't open on Tuesday.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Food trucks are my thing.
Yeah, we're obviously Elevated Education. You're very familiar with that, so we'll be hosting that come late October, early November. We're working on narrowing down the weekend, so we'll be doing Elevated Education there. We'll also be hosting FCC events there for the Cannabis Coalition and Pete. And I'm sure we'll be working with FloridaMarijuana.net as well.
For sure. And I hope I can film another episode of Tony's Table with Greenwise TV in your backyard and grill some steak, because that was off the chain.
Oh, absolutely.
That was great. I really appreciate you, man, and what you're doing in Gainesville. It means a lot to me personally because of the area and the fact that you're so involved in the cannabis community. And it seems like you've been able to pull together a really strong group of people. And by seems, I mean he did it, folks. Make sure to go down to Swamp City Gallery Lounge. Real quick before I let you go, Tyler, because I know y'all have some things to do. Can you let everybody know, how to find you and how to find Swamp City Gallery on all the different platforms?
Absolutely. So right now we're on Facebook and Instagram, and we're also on our website. So it's Swamp City Gallery Lounge. No spaces, no caps. Pretty easy. It's at Swamp City Gallery Lounge, whether you're on Facebook or Instagram. The website is swampcitygallerylounge.com. We're pretty active, or very active, on Facebook and Instagram, as well as on our website. So if you need to get a hold of us, shoot us a message over on either one of those platforms. My personal cell phone is on all of those platforms, as well as the website, if you need to get a hold of me personally. Plus, one thing that we are offering is event or venue rentals. So if you come to Swamp City and you're like, man, this is an amazing place. I have a business or a company that I would love to host an event here for, but you want to do a private event, we also offer, you can come and rent the venue for your events as well.
Awesome. And what's the address for people to go to?
Yep, you're going to find us right downtown in Gainesville. We're right across the street from the GRU parking lot, and the address is 404 Southeast 2nd Street, and that's Gainesville, Florida, 32601. We're right downtown on the corner of 4th Ave and 2nd Street. It's a big green and white Victorian house. You can't miss it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Robert.
And everybody, make sure you get down to Swamp City Gallery Lounge. This place is so hot, it literally had to be located a couple blocks from the fire department. I mean, it's on fire. Get down there. Go see Chef Tony. Go see Tyler. Go see Jose. And you might see me there.
There you go, man.
Thanks, man. You guys have a great one. And next episode, we're actually speaking with Jose Rosado of Greenwise TV.
Awesome, man. Well, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you on the podcast, and thank you for your time as well.
Awesome, man. You have a great day, Tyler. Thank you. I really appreciate what you're doing.
You too, brother. Likewise.
The Marijuana Solution would like to remind you to check out our sponsors after the podcast. We're going to have links to them in the description. Our sponsors are TrueLeaf, Sunshine Cannabis, The Smart Collective, Minorities for Medical Marijuana, and We Are Rare. Don't forget to check out those links in the description. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. Leave us a review.
Aware of the Marijuana Solution.